We've made a wrong turn and we are lost in the woods. Welcome to the Wrong Turn Podcast.
Don't worry, today we're still in the forest.
Today we're lost in the forest, guys, and we're doing what would you call this, Courtney?
Oh, an ultimate classic. This is the first found footage, iconic film, right? Wouldn't you say?
I was trying to think if there was anything before this, and I'm not sure.
This one paved the waves for all of them, for the Paranormal Activities, for the Cloverfields, we are talking the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
1998?
99. Yeah.
99?
But supposedly this takes place in 1994.
Right.
And then they say that this edited version came out 1 year after this, which is a little weird. Timelines don't really add up.
This movie still completely holds up.
100%.
Still. I saw it young because I saw it when it came out, so I would have been 7 or 8.
I think I thought it was, the marketing got me. The marketing
got me. I was terrified.
But I don't think I watched it. I think I watched it much later.
No, I was definitely young because here's a funny story about my lovely mother. And it's true. My mother is lovely.
Let's hear your backstory with this movie.
Because I'm pretty sure she was the one that was she wanted to see it. And so she probably was all right, come on. We're going to go see the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, your mom's a great parent.
Yeah.
I love it.
She loves horror movies. And I like I told you, I used to watch Leprechaun 3 when I was 7. It was my favorite movie to rent.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd let my kids watch horror movies at a young age. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I turned out okay.
Yeah, it turned out fine.
But anyway, what she used to say to me, because I told you before, I'm from Minnesota, you guys. Forest is everywhere. We used to be driving along and we would just drive by a forest. And she turned to me and she goes, "That's where they filmed the Blair Witch Project." And I would be terrified.
Sorry.
And that's my mom.
I mean, man.
She did it all the time.
I'd like to be like that too. It would be great. Oh man, but I feel like I'd traumatize them. and then they'd get me back eventually, but they would give me a heart attack. By the time they're 20 and then they're really trying to scare me.
I love scaring my mom. I love jumping out of the closet.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, I do to people at work.
Yeah.
I should have recorded. I would scare everybody at work. It was the best thing ever.
This is my home, which I am leaving the comforts of for the weekend to explore the Blair Witch. I can see you.
I'm real excited about this. Thank you for the
I'm very
opportunity.
glad.
This area's been haunted by that old woman for years.
I don't know why you have to have every conversation on video.
Because we're making a documentary.
Not about us getting lost. We're making a documentary about a witch.
I know.
We're lost. Admit that first.
No, I know we're not lost.
We're all over the place.
So how do we know it was people?
Well, even if it wasn't, I'm not going to play with that either.
And it's all because of me that we're here now. Hungry and cold and hunted. Just want to apologize to Mike's mom and Josh's mom and my mom.
Tell me where you are, Josh!
I'm gonna die out here.
So this is directed by Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick. These gentlemen, unfortunately, have not done a whole lot ever since.
No, they haven't.
No, but it was a budget of, we talked about, $60,000. They were college students at the time, and they were studying at University of Central Florida. And
they're from Florida.
Yeah,
okay.
Florida boys. Boom.
Florida boys represent.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm I got to separate. I'm from Miami. I'm not from Florida.
That's true. Those are two different things.
Two different things altogether.
Yeah.
They made $246 million off of this movie. Now, like you told me before, they probably spent something like double the budget on post editing.
Yeah, I think that was because it was very obviously cheap to make, to film. It is, But yeah, they spent the majority of their budget that went into post.
And like I said, it fucking holds up.
It holds up. It's so, and it's funny because just rewatching it, I always kind of think, I'm like, is this scary? I'm like, am I gonna get scared? And then you get to it, and you're like, oh yeah, fuck.
Oh,
like
the scary part. I mean, it does have its scary moments with, later in the movie, but like the parts that got me the most were the being lost in the woods and like just fear for your fucking life. I've been watching a lot of Naked and Afraid on Discovery Channel, and I'm like, these people don't know how to fucking make a fire. These people don't know how to boil any.
Have you watched Outlast?
Which was that one?
So it's also like a survival game, and they have to see who can outlast who out in the wilderness.
Is that the one that takes place in Alaska?
In Alaska, yeah.
And it's they're all across, like they're all in the same
teams.
lake. Oh no, that's yeah.
So there's teams.
I saw one that's teams too. Like there's 4 teams made up of like 4 or 5 guys, and I'm not sure which one. And then they start like jumping teams, and people start calling it like start leaving.
No, I haven't seen that one, but on Outlast, it's like...
All right, we digress a little bit, but we'll get back to it. We're at the part of the movie where they're interviewing the locals, and this is totally everything's improvised.
Yeah.
But the locals are improvising, and the little girl being scared and covering her mom's mouth is so
good.
So perfect.
Yeah, so like that one woman, she's just talking about the Blair Witch and what it means to this small town, because the legend is that kids would go missing and the Blair Witch took them.
Yeah. So this takes place in New Hampshire?
Maryland.
Of course. But it's one of these things that, Maryland being such a rich history with witches and the woods.
Yeah, East Coast, absolutely.
Yeah, and urban legends. Like you do feel like this small town has that urban legend feel.
And what, going back to this movie being very scary, like the woods part, like I said, as a person that grew up in the woods, like I had a forest in my backyard. So it was all like very familiar. But when we get to the part with like the stick little figures that hanging, ooh, sends me every time.
Did you ever have it? Did you ever find something in the woods?
Oh, I found freaky shit. I found a tombstone once.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a tombstone though. So like somebody was buried in there, but like just one random tombstone.
Yeah. I don't know what I meant.
Yeah. We don't have a whole lot of dense forest. I mean, we have.
Well, no, not Miami.
No, we had like little national parks, but like nothing like there was, and they had, paved concrete trails. There was a small park that had like a nice little trail that you could walk around, and we would find weird stuff in there. Like, some teenagers trying to do witchcraft. And this is recent too.
Oh, here's this.
Mary Brown.
No, the woods that was behind my house, that I grew up in, the train track used to run through it. So I used to find the craziest shit, from when the train used to go through the woods.
You got the full spectrum of just like creepy stuff. You got the
there was
forest, the train tracks.
There was a creepy ass old abandoned shed.
Yeah. Oh damn! We're just marking off all the bingo cards.
So to this day, my pinned tweet on my Twitter is. It says, currently residing in the forest where they filmed the Blair Witch Project.
Perfect.
So, I mean, when they're walking around the forest, I'd be like, Edgar, this is just my backyard.
I don't think I'm ever going to have anything. The only thing it could resemble was if we ever watched, Michael Douglas's The Game and be like, I lived on that street.
Right. You'll be like, oh.
Yeah, it takes place in San Francisco and I can name all the places that it was in.
Right. You're just like, okay. Yeah.
All right,
no, and then we watch this and I'll be like, nope, that's where I grew up. That lady's my neighbor.
I do like a forest though. Like forests are very nice and very peaceful. And I'm like that. I like that we live fairly close to a lot of national parks here. All right, so then they've interviewed the locals.
They're getting ready to head to the forest.
They talked to Mary Brown, who she's the local historian. They've done the urban legend on the tale of the old man that killed the 7 children.
Mm-hmm. They found. Remember, they were talking about how one by one they're bringing out like the dead bodies from his house, and you're like, oof.
Which is also has like moments of true crime, and then it just makes the urban legend that much richer because there are several accounts of. You could have just made a movie on that. If they would have made a sequel or a prequel, they could have just done that story.
Yeah. And what I also like, because when I was doing my research from the like background on this, and like the reviews, people talked about this. Like one guy was saying, he's like, it's not what was in the woods that's scary. It's those little sounds where you're just like, you hear a twig break, and you're like, well, what the fuck was that?
Uh-huh.
The rocks moving around in the middle of the night. That's like, that's the part where you're like,
freak the
yuck.
fuck out. 100%.
It's like, it's not so much that, oh, the Blair Witch is out here, she's gonna get us. It's like that, those little things.
This is the only thing I'm like, maybe the only horror trope would be like they are committing, I don't know, whatever you call it, those horror sins that you would commit in the beginning of Bowie, right? They're imbibing alcohol and drugs.
They're getting drunk,
right?
they're smoking weed.
And I'm like, oh, that's it. You've committed sin. Now
You've committed the first horror movie sin.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, when the horny couple shows up and you're like, oh, they die first because they were horny.
Oh, so they committed their first sin. They're still meeting some of the locals. And I think it's the only, which it doesn't seem like that much of a, like they just have a little bit of, like, it's not like, you know, flagrant like in some of the other movies.
And this is why I always like, whenever I rewatch this, I trick myself into thinking that I'm not going to get scared. Because there's a lot of this, you know, the interviewing the town folk. And I'm always like, is this movie scary? And then like you get into it and I'm like, oh, yes, it is.
And then this is where they're telling them about the children that disappeared. And with the black and white and their attire, it looks like a completely different kind of movie. Like it looks like they're in the 70s all of a sudden. Yeah,
it does. Especially their outfits. Were you disappointed by Coffin Rock? Is that what it's called? Coffin Rock?
Where they go and they do the other, like, so essentially they layer on the myth. This is one of the stories. Coffin Rock's the other story where they had the people with their entrails pulled out.
I think so.
Yeah.
I just remember when they get to the Coffin Rock, I wanted it to be spookier. I was just kind of like, oh. Again, I was like, my backyard.
I do have something written about it. I would have been like, nope, not going to Coffin Rock.
you were like, I wouldn't even show up there.
I wouldn't like, it did seem, it kind of like blown over. It kind of seemed like it just didn't hit as well as this. These locals improvising all the backstory, like,
it's great.
Fucking A. Even though, like, so they said there wasn't, like, the script was very just simple.
Yeah, they had their, like, things that they stuck to, but then, like you're saying, like, there was a lot of just improv.
Yeah. Like,
there's key moments, like, when the one guy gets rid of the map. Look, there's that cabin that was in my backyard. Like, you know, that one guy, like, throwing away the map, and the plot is like thickening. You're moving forward.
That fucking drives me fucking crazy.
Oh, I remember it being so fucking mad at that
We
guy.
haven't even introduced our characters. So we have Heather, Josh, and Mike, which is actually, they use their real names, but I guess they have different last names.
Well, and the whole premise was the beginning of the movie was this is their found footage and they never found their bodies.
Oh, that's right. That was part of the marketing, is that this is all real. So they actually use their real names.
So yeah, like I remember thinking that they were dead.
This drives me fucking crazy. Be like, oh yeah, remember guys, we parked next to the tree. Like, you are never finding that car. There is no trail.
Hey guys, we parked next to the leaves.
Yeah.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me? One of the things that kind of drove me crazy is that from the beginning, I never believed Heather knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, she does not come across as this, like, strong director or kind of...
Okay.
Here's Coffin Rock.
Coffin Rock.
They went into the woods, prepared to find death. I just remember being like, oh, that's it. Like, I guess I wanted it just to be... It's called Coffin Rock. Because I wanted it to be spookier.
Because so much of the other parts that they find are much more...
I know.
I guess because it's early in the movie?
Yeah, I guess there would have been a little bit too of it. I mean, again, not bad. I love this movie, and I will rewatch it over and over and over again.
This part of the story takes place... What is it? 1800s or something like that?
The Coffin Rock story, yeah.
And I'm saying, you could have done a prequel or sequel about the kids being missing in Blair Witch. You know,
That would have been a better
that would
movie.
have been fucking awesome.
Because
or you could have done this.
I didn't watch the second one. I just read it. I just read the plot.
You mean Book of Shadows?
Book of Shadows. And I'm glad I didn't watch it because I just read the plot and I was like, oh.
Book of Shadows is the new metal version of what a sequel is. Yeah, there's a lot of spiked hair and a lot of guitar.
Whereas the 2016 one, which we'll get to, which is it's Heather's little brother. It's about Heather's little brother thinking he can find her. And I enjoyed that one more because it had these guys, like the original.
Yeah. It's played off of and it was also a found footage movie.
Yeah.
Which they didn't do with Book of Shadows, which I think is kind of weird. Book of Shadows is just a straight. They incorporated
it because it was another group of teens being like, we're gonna go find the Blair Witch kind of situation.
But they pull out of it.
Yeah.
Constantly. They pull out of those camera frames.
Yeah. And also they like leave the woods and like go back to their normal lives, and then like things start fucking with them, and it's like, oh, you're really taking it's the woods aspect of this that makes it so scary.
So this is the first night, and I think they already hear.
Yeah, so that's Josh, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, or Mike.
That's Mike right there.
Okay, yeah.
Mike's our sound guy. Josh is our co-director, and then Heather
is the director.
Is Magellan, essentially.
Is
Magellan. Because she's got the map.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, are Josh and Heather like a couple?
No.
No? Okay. Friends. Okay. I always kind of thought that I don't know. Maybe I guess it's never really.
You kind of read into it. I never thought they were a couple. Yeah, and it never read to me. I always read that they were working on this. Now I'm reading it. It's Heather's project, and Mike's helping her as a camera guy, and then they hired Mike to help them. So Mike is like, they don't really know.
Oh, they don't know Mike, and so it's Josh and Heather's thing.
Yeah, and
they just hired Mike. Yeah.
They took the camera from school. Mm-hmm. They don't know that they took the camera from school, which is like.
And then Mike is funny because Mike ends up being the one that like fucks everything up.
I mean, kind of not. They were already fucked to begin with.
It's true.
This is one of those things I like to call the tragic characters. The characters that are just gonna. They don't really do anything wrong. Their only crime is that they went where they weren't supposed to go, and they're just gonna get fucked over and they're gonna die essentially. And just more bad stuff is loaded onto them.
Oh my god, what was that guy's name in the Wrong Turn remake that we just felt so fucking bad for?
Wrong Turn remake.
Remember, he was like his boyfriend got destroyed by the log. He got his eyes cut out.
He got his eyes cut out. He got his tongue cut. He
did nothing wrong, but listen to that one white woman.
Yeah, his crime was going on this fucking trip to begin with.
Lost the love of his life. And finally they mercy killed him in the end, but he was like the definition of tragedy.
I gotta put him in my list. I'm compiling a list of tragic characters. Oh.
Yeah, I'll have to go back. I can't remember it was like Louise or something. I
think it was like Louise or Miguel.
But yeah, that was like, in the longest time I was like, that poor soul.
And they gave him like, he had very little lines. He had like that one. Actually, and we say he's like one of the better actors in the movie because he had to like exude a lot of emotion when he was breaking down. He was just like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the first time they're lost.
Yeah, they're lost. Also, I really love how the panic sets in.
Oh, that's what really gets to you. So it says that you said it was 2 miles, and I said that 2 hours ago, and it's been 4 hours and shit like that. So it takes you about like 20 minutes to walk a mile.
It really only does.
So like the fact that they've been walking for like 2 to 4 hours
doesn't really check out.
Oh my god, I would have been like, what the fuck are we doing?
What are we doing? And then they start, because like I said, the panic starts to set in. They start fighting.
She starts to be a fucking dick about it. She gives him the map, and he's like, you take a look at it. He's like, I can't understand this.
Yeah.
Well, also, you wouldn't know where you fucking came in. Be like, also, why would you only have one map? Like, everybody's getting a map. Like, I'll show everybody where we're starting, where we're going. You know?
I'd be so good in a situation like this, though.
Why wouldn't you mark out like, hey, we're parked here.
Markers. Give yourself fucking markers, okay? That's what you do. You take some neon fucking tape that you buy at the hardware store and you mark shit.
And he says it too. He's like, I signed up for a scouted out project.
Yeah.
So he thinks they've gone there before, that they're just going back.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's professional.
Exactly. He goes, I thought you guys knew what you were doing and now we're lost.
Yeah.
Because he was also being like, we've walked by that tree 4 times. So are you literally, you're saying they've been walking for 4 hours, like literally just in a circle?
Oof. This is only the first time they get lost, and you feel it even more later. I won't get to that part.
Yeah.
And luckily, I'm assuming filming is a lot easier now. Like, they wouldn't have to carry these heavy equipment.
I know, like you see the camera that this guy has and you're like, that thing's ancient.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it's actually, if you remember, like, they're actually doing this. They're actually like, right?
Yeah, they're actually out in the woods camping.
They actually
and
have
all
to
that.
cross this log.
We're very, very close now to what?
Yeah, oh, because I think they're trying to find the grave.
The car? Are they trying to find the car?
No, they're trying to find the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Because again, Heather's still very like, this is my film.
Yeah, she's doing a project on the Blair Witch. She just wants to film the area.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, yes. The creepy little
this is only
nests of stones.
This is the one where they find 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
7 for 7. You put it together like
you put together the 7 bodies.
7 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they also had, was it 7 people dead at Coffin Rock too?
Something like that. And then, isn't it also, I know I just watched this, but when Josh goes missing, don't they find like a newer pile of rocks?
They find 3.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
That's right.
So I think you kind of like assume it's their grave sites.
Yeah.
And
it's eerie, man.
We're about to get to our second sin right here. It's
Well, because Josh kind of messes up because he touches it.
He steps on it,
Mm-hmm.
or he like knocks it down.
He knocks the rocks off, and then I think Mike immediately is just like, "Dude, you can't do that.
Why would you touch it?
Touch these things.
Never. I mean, there's a sense that's also the scariest parts. One of the scariest parts of the movie is that there's a sense of realism.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are not no-name actors, but they're basically
they're nobodies. No one's going to this film to be like, yes, I love this actor.
Yeah. And so it's very relatable.
They're no Jason Momoas. Oh, you know I had to.
Boom. I'm gonna ring the bell.
We need a bell.
Momoa, was it? Ming saying that he's just kind of going off the deep end because he's just like everywhere and he's just doing whatever he wants.
The man can though.
Yeah, sure, why not? He seems like a fun guy.
Yeah. I feel like we can get along. Ming was cracking me up though about that real quick. She was just like, you gotta fuck him. I was like, I don't wanna. I'm like, I truly don't wanna. I just like the guy.
Oh. Okay.
And she was just like, no, you have to for America. And I went, Mei Ling, I don't think so.
For America.
For America.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
It's your right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean that. He's a gorgeous man, but I just like him.
That's fair. We've had our things. Oh, this is the part where he knocks these.
Yes.
And on top of that, they knock it over at night.
Yeah, so Josh knocks over one of the graves, and that's where Josh goes, bye-bye.
So what do we think? Do we think had they not knocked over the grave site or one of the piles of rocks that, they might have survived?
No, I don't think so.
They still would have been dead.
Well, that's an interesting theory, but because something happens to Josh, because he remember he kind of disappears in the middle of the night and then he comes back and he's covered in goop.
No. It's when they later when they get sort of attacked, and they all run out in the forest
with the famous running scene.
Yeah. So this is kind of a little creepy with no sound on, right? When they find his stuff, and his stuff is the only one that's been rifled through. His stuff's spilled all over the place, and there's slime on it, which I don't really get the slime part.
I've never understood the slime part.
Unless we're going back to Ghostbusters and ectoplasm,
Yeah, but that was one thing I was always a little confused about was why was it slimy?
Yeah.
But it's because he fucked up that grave site. Like, it's a direct result. That's why it goes after him first.
100%. But also, is it because we hear children? So it's the ghost of the children, or is it the Blair Witch?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my favorite scene in this whole movie is the ending.
Oh, so much with so little.
So much. So
Like, it's like, I can't.
Did you know that they actually ended up having to tear down that cabin or that house?
Really?
Because people were going to it
Ooh.
after this movie came out.
See, everybody thought it was
So, like,
real.
the town that they filmed it in, like, made an order, like, it had that place destroyed because they were, like, so sick of people going out there and going to it.
Well, it's kind of like what the house from the Goonies.
Everybody
Everybody
people
takes a
get
photo
excited.
in front of it. The Full House.
The Painted Sisters or whatever.
Mhm.
That's what they're called, right?
It's like next to the Painted Sisters, and it's like, so Painted Sisters are here, the Full House is over there, but it's not actually that one. It's like some weird thing where like they actually live, like their address for Full House on Google.
I think the Goonies house, I think the people were legit had to be like, please stop coming to our
they
house.
sold it.
Yeah.
Or somebody bought it and somebody resold it recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I understand that, but if it was like truly bothering a person, I would never. Even abandoned cabin.
You would never, but
I guess you're correct. I would never.
yeah, but
we know enough about humans.
We've just talked about for a second about.
I like how I was like, I'm trying to give people the benefit. Then I'm like, nope, don't do that.
It's just that
it was like the remember that one story from Breaking Bad, where that one lady's house, they use this old woman's house, and it's that famous scene where Walt's on the roof with the pizza.
Oh yeah, and everybody started throwing pizza on it.
Everyone's throwing pizzas on this little old lady's house.
That's rough.
And literally, Bryan Cranston had to go out and be like, "Stop it!"
But also, that's not a way to maybe buy the lady a pizza.
Yeah, send her a pizza.
Send her a pizza.
I was like, they just used this sweet little lady was like, yeah, you can use my house for this scene, and did not know what she was getting herself into.
No, all the money you had to spend on cleaning it. So this is the second time they're lost.
Okay, second time lost, and now we will. Mike, the panic has set into Mike, and to be fair, like we said before, he was the one that was like, I thought this was a scouted adventure.
This is so they're done filming. They've gone to the gravesite. They're heading back.
They're lost.
It's the end of day 2.
They're tired.
They're tired, and then the sun's going down, and they're just like, "Oh shit, we're fucked. Now we have to camp."
We're not gonna have time to make it to the car tonight. We should set up camp while it's still light out.
But also, like, I don't think that would work too, because if it took you 2 days to get to where you are, shouldn't it take you 2 days to get back?
In theory.
Yeah, right. So then you wouldn't.
But then
have a
there's
weekend.
that whole like they were walking around in a circle for 4 hours. Like,
Yeah.
So how far have they really gone? Again, it takes you 20 minutes to walk a mile.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, that should have been the first thing. Like, how many miles is it? Where are you actually trying to go? She's literally. It seems that Heather's just trying to like wander until she finds something.
Yeah.
And we're like, is that really how you want to do your project? Like, I get it. Like, if you had time and you were out there in the woods for a while.
She has done no pre-production. None. She's done her research, sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of everything else.
And mind you, the fear is setting into Mike because Mike's got to get back to work. Josh has got to get the camera back. And Heather's just like...
Chilling.
I mean, like, oh, let's just keep calm.
She's like, she's like, we gotta get the shot.
And she keeps saying constantly, like, I know what I'm doing. We're fine. I'm like, if you knew what we were fucking doing, we wouldn't be lost.
Yeah. I'm like, we would not be exactly where we are if you knew what you were doing.
I mean, like, granted, it's not great being in that fucking situation,
Mm-mm.
but Heather does drive me a little bit fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. She's what I would call a cow.
A what?
A cow.
A cow?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite insults.
What is a cow?
Just calling someone a cow?
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's a Midwest thing. I've never heard anybody. I mean, I've heard it on.
I think it's fun. Have you ever called someone a fat cow?
No.
That's fun too.
Why would you? Because like what?
And I don't get why it's so insulting, but people have a heavy reaction to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like being called a cow.
Yeah.
A little rough. Like I said, it's creepy with no sound on.
It is.
So they heard some stuff in the middle
But
of the
Heather's
night.
a cow. Is what I mean.
It's just that like blind optimism or blind confidence that kind of just gets everybody in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
Which I've definitely come across before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a great scene in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia by my favorite, Mr. Glenn, aka Dennis, where he's angry in traffic, classic me situation, and he's calling people fat cows.
That's where I've heard it. Okay.
But I was doing that before that episode.
That's fair. Why do you think we're going to Dave and Buster's later? Where else are you going to get a steak dinner in an arcade setting?
Steak dinner in an arcade setting.
Yeah.
God, I mean, if they hadn't started their own podcast, I'd have been like, Edgar, we should be doing that one.
Oh,
each episode.
But
that's what they do. So, I mean, what's the point? I'd rather listen to them talk about it.
There's like a million podcasts that go through like episodes of all sorts of stuff.
I know. Yeah, we're getting to that famous scene soon of her sitting with that camera front and center, crying.
I think it's still one more night away. And I want to apologize. I am a little stuffy. I'm recovering from a cold, so my voice is a little bit deeper.
Not COVID. It wasn't COVID.
No, we got tested several times.
I stayed far away from you guys.
I appreciate it.
So right now, because obviously we're watching this on mute, but the screen is just black because they're only talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where they wake up and they have the gravestones around their campsite.
So you know somebody's fucking with you.
Yeah.
Or they think somebody's fucking with them. Some locals.
Yeah, they think it's a local because obviously they were just in town interviewing everyone. They're like, well, someone followed us out here and they're fucking with us. Which, to be fair, that would be my initial thing.
Yeah.
I would not jump to, oh, it was the Blair Witch.
And if this was like a slasher type or more of like an exploitative movie, you could have introduced some locals that follow them around and just more fodder for the slasher movie, you know?
Oh my God, we totally didn't make a funny wrong turn joke.
No, but
about them taking wrong turns.
Oh, God damn, it's such obvious. But I did want to point out that like there's so many when they're lost and every time they move the camera up and you catch a scene of them, it is a 90s cover album.
Oh, we were talking about Creed earlier.
Dude, 100%. Every time, that's one of them. But there's every time they're lost.
With arms wide open. That's a Creed too, right?
Probably. Yeah. I just saw that music video at the gym yesterday. I'm like, it's still
You're like, oh, I can't.
Why silver pants? The white tank top?
It's that silver pants and the white tank top. The wife beater, as they call it. Jeez.
Why?
And weren't they a Christian?
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is another famous scene right here.
Yes, the map.
The map. There.
And this is where Mike admits he tossed it, right?
It's Monday morning. They're looking for the map. Heather can't find it. She's losing her shit. She's kept her calm up until this point.
Yeah. But panic is now officially setting in with Heather that there isn't a map. Not like they were using it correctly by any means. But
she's just pointing at a piece of paper.
She's like, yeah, we're over here.
I don't even see her carrying a compass, you know?
No. So unprepared.
And then, of course, they look at Mike for a second. Well, we know it's coming because we know.
Well, yeah, because we know. But this is like the side of Mike where the panic is set in, and I know I've said that many times, but he's also just kind of losing it. Like, truly losing it.
Yeah,
like, it's gone.
Yeah, he fucking loses.
Because he just starts laughing. He's like, I threw it out.
He's like, it was
like
Joker. You've been lost for 2 days. Well, essentially, like, right. Let's say they knew what they were doing. They're lost for a day. You know, it's Monday morning, right? So like now they know they got to get back. Even though Mike's still pretty fucking calm.
Yeah, but you know what? And you don't. As we talk about how you kind of learn to really not like Heather. You're just kind of like, oh. You feel bad for the guys because you're like, well, that sucks.
I mean, yeah, because you kind of think somebody would have been a dick to her a little bit more. I mean, Mike is a little bit of a dick, but Josh keeps his cool for the longest time.
He really does. He looks like dead in this scene. He's just like lying there. Haven't seen them drink water once.
I've never seen him eat. I've seen him eat marshmallows.
Not even having like in the beginning they had marshmallows. not even like a granola bar, which is what you would bring.
Yeah, which I'm like, also kind of gives you like, dude, what are these kids eating? I mean, essentially, they brought food, right?
They have backpacks, so you get the assumption that they're drinking and eating.
But say you brought food out, you're on a weekend trip, you brought food for one day, maybe.
Well, if you were in theory, we're going to be in the woods for 2 days. Was that the initial, like, their idea, or was it just one day? Maybe I totally didn't even think about that.
I think drive out Friday night.
Film all day.
Saturday, camp out Saturday night. Sunday, film some more, then go home. Get back by Sunday night.
You're right. So in theory, you're not packing that much food.
You're not packing that much food. And then, Josh is being reasonable. He's like, we're lost in the woods. Eventually somebody's going to come looking for us. We just gotta survive until then.
We gotta do Descent at some time.
Oh, Descent's good.
Wrong turn into a cave.
Wrong turn. You made a wrong turn.
Oh, they made a bad wrong turn.
That's a good one, too.
That one holds up.
Yeah.
I watch that one frequently.
That one also suffers from the thing where all the sequels just are adding a bunch of backstory.
They only did a second one.
Oh, I think they did a 3 too.
Did they? I've not seen it.
Yeah, do you want to?
Probably. I will. But as far as sequels goes, the second one wasn't off. It wasn't. I liked it.
I think it has something to do with I think there's like alternative endings. The first one has alternative endings. So it's kind of like you could. I'd have to look into it. I don't know.
My only note with the second one and that, I know we're going to go right back into watching Blair Witch here, but they added in the female creatures.
Oh, really?
In the second one. Just to get you the idea that that's how they're repopulating. But they made him horny. And I was like, why?
They made him horny.
Like, I can appreciate that in horror movies, but not that one.
They've crossed the lake. They've crossed another river, which at this point you're like, how many fucking rivers do we have to cross?
You're correct. There's one. There's one river.
How many would...
They've crossed it 16 times.
They're laughing. I think this is the part where Mike loses it.
Also, hey, I don't know if you knew this. Follow the river.
Oh, shit.
And you get out.
Damn. It would take you to a road eventually. That's if you... She's saying something along the lines where it's really hard to get lost in America nowadays. And I'm like,
Is it though?
Maybe. I mean, like, I get it. That's a very...
America's huge.
It's a very closed-minded way to look at it, especially if you're a national park. Like, no. Like, you can... I've seen a lot of Dual Survivor. I've seen a lot of Naked and Different. Like, you could get lost.
We were just talking about the survival shows. Shit's scary.
100%. Like I said, you haven't seen them drink water. Yeah. You can last a week without drinking.
3 days.
3 days without drinking
without water, yeah. You have to have your water.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Food is a week, I think. Maybe 2, depending on your size.
And in Naked and Afraid, like, some of those people are just holding on barely. They're just waiting it out, which is rough.
Like I was saying, I was watching Outlets, and I was like, you get to the end of that, and you're like, these people looked fucked up.
Yeah, like, I was watching another one. Oh, see, this is the part.
Oh, yeah. So Mike finally admits that he tossed the map, and now they're all mad. But again, map wasn't really doing anything for them.
She's like, I knew what I was doing. You didn't know shit.
Heather, you didn't know what I knew what I was doing. I knew where I was going. But did you?
Yeah, I mean, they could have been... The moment that they were lost from the beginning, like that first time they were lost, they were completely fucked.
So this is you finally see Josh snap with the whole map situation. It's because Josh and Mike they're like fist fighting.
Oh, 100, yeah.
And the map was useless. You know what? I kind of stand by him.
I think that's an Oregon State duffel bag he's got on the back right there. Skoducks.
Skoducks. It looks like their colors. Yeah, follow the river, guys.
That's actually, I didn't even think about that part. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know some things about wilderness.
It would have taken him somewhere.
It would have.
Because there's so many things that are built along rivers. Mm-hmm. You would have found help eventually.
You follow the goddamn flow of a river.
Yeah. Downward. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. You follow it.
And you didn't even see
compass.
You didn't even see her use a compass. She even pulls out one. I don't think she...
And the thing is, how would you know which way's south if you didn't have your compass? I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah. No,
wait, you're right, the star.
No. Well, let's go. All right, so you know the river. There we go.
There we go. See, we could help each other out if we're lost in the woods.
If it's early morning, the sun's rising on the east.
You're right. That was a dumb thing I just said.
And if the sun's rising on the east, that's on your right hand side.
Of course.
That means you'll be
Because
looking
the
north.
sun always sets in the west and rises in the east.
So that means every time the sun's on your right hand side on the when it's setting, it means you're looking south.
You're right. Okay. Yeah. No, I just had to think about it, but in my head, I was just like, I'd be confused. I'd just be standing in the forest, be like, well, which way?
I think you'd eventually get it.
I'm like, I literally, in my head, I was like, oh, Cordy, you more on a sundial.
But of course, like you can't, you can't follow the sun because it's moving. So you have to kind of keep it.
Right.
You kind of have to keep it out. You have to know at one point of the day, like I'm starting to walk this way. And kind of have to realize that the sun has to keep moving this way, but I have to keep in this general direction. Exactly. Because if you keep following it, it's going to fuck you up. You will walk in a circle.
Yeah, you will. You know, you 100%. Yeah. Now we're getting the creepy little wooden dolls.
Yeah. So, which is weird because, like, if you had found this and you were trying to get out, that means you just got deeper into the woods and you were actually not.
That would be my first reaction. I'd be like, it's getting worse.
Yeah, we're getting worse. We're getting deeper into the woods and we're only more fucked.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. If I walked into a woods, I'd be like, I don't think anyone's fucking with me at this point. You guys were fucked.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, I'd be like, wouldn't touch a thing.
Wouldn't touch a goddamn thing. Would run so fast in the opposite direction.
So I think this is still Monday and it's getting close to Monday night. And I love this. She's still recording. She's still about her project. And then the guys are just like, we're fucking done. Let's get the fuck out of here.
And then they all coming together too. They're like, this isn't someone that's messing with us. Like this is scary. Yeah. This scene is like such a vivid memory from me as a kid. Terrified me.
And she's like, she's still recording.
Well, I mean, this is great content for her documentary.
Yeah. There's also that too. Like, which I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. We're just like, just scream. See if somebody reacts. See somebody find some hunters, you know? But also they're just walking, like they find no trails.
No, yeah.
And I think this is the night, they decided not to light a fire. That's also a nice, I think so many of these shots are so classic. Like you've seen these shots over and over again over the years.
I also remember, the very first Scary Movie.
Like the Scary Movie?
No, like Scary Movie by the Wayans Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did that whole funny scene. There's like snot coming out of their nose because they knocked off Blair. Those first two are so good.
I have to rewatch them.
I like the first two. Because I think the first two were written by the Wayans Brothers and the others weren't. I think it is the first one because it's Carmen Electra right in the beginning. And famously does that whole, like, there's a table set out of, like, there's a gun, there's a knife, and then there's a banana, and she grabs a banana.
This is the scene you were talking about.
Yes, here we go. She's running.
This is the one I think where you hear the kids laughing.
Because they're screaming. They're like, what is that?
I mean, I don't know why they're recording. I don't know. I wouldn't be recording. You should be using the flashlight.
I mean, I guess. But is there a theory to, like, when someone has a camera that has night vision on it?
Oh.
And, like, helps you see in the dark? Yeah.
Which I don't know.
I don't think this one does.
I don't think this one does.
But I don't know. That's what I thought. Like, I've seen that in films where, like, they turn on the night vision because it helps them see in the dark. Literally, The Descent, as I was just saying earlier, they do that in that movie.
I think they lose Josh for a second.
Well, this is the famous scene, and that's when they find his stuff covered in slime.
That would have been so easy to like just lose everybody for a second. Like, it would have been so fucked.
Well, you're panicking and you're running in the middle of the night. And we are going to get the scene where she flips on the camera on herself. See? The kids.
Oh.
She just said there's a baby out there.
That, so fucking creepy.
A baby?
I actually did.
I don't want to hear a crying baby if I'm in the middle of a woods.
What was it? I think they say, like, we both know it's not a baby. Like,
we all know it's not a baby.
That's fucking perfect. And they never admit it, too. They never admit that it's actually the Blair Witch.
Yeah, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like the mystery with that.
So it's an hour. Okay, so it's
The sun's coming up now.
If I'm right, it's Tuesday morning.
I would say yes, right?
And the acting's pretty genuine. Like, that's what the other thing that fucking makes it so fucking believable. Like, these guys did a fucking pretty good job improving.
They did. They're so believable. Their camp is fucked up.
Everything's fucking tossed around.
Josh has stuff got stolen. Here comes up the slime.
Which you can't really see it very well in the...
You can't. And again, I've never understood the slime. Maybe someone can help us out on that. Is that like a... The slime never comes up in the other ones.
I wouldn't have remembered.
I don't think it does.
Maybe one of those things that, like, it doesn't really play. It's kind of shitty, though. Just so you should just fucking rifle through, just toss all over the fucking place.
Just Josh's stuff. Once again, the same guy who knocked over that grave by accident, but it wasn't like he did it on purpose. But
worse, and he's the first one to go. Boom.
And this also finally snapping on her, being like, "Turn the fucking camera off! Like, this is serious."
100%. Like, I would have fucking. I would have been like, "It's so fucking." It's just like, yeah, like, what are you doing? We need you to focus on the fucking problem at hand, not your fucking problem.
You're just filming everything.
Yeah, filming your stuff being rifled through, like your campsite being fucking tossed, has nothing to do with the project, essentially. Unless you think it's your break.
I see why you like this video camera so much.
I mean, yeah, it does. You could sort of see, like, yeah, it's like filtered, like you're not really dealing with your problems.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're too concentrated on your film.
It's something to focus on, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something she's focusing on. She doesn't want to focus on the fact that they're lost.
And she's kind of like the one that hasn't broken down yet.
Yeah.
You know?
And she doesn't really.
Famous scene coming up.
Yeah, well, she does. I mean, that. Okay, you're right. I'm completely wrong. But I mean, she holds it together when she's walking through that spooky fucking house.
Her screaming in that scene, when we get to it, it's just the layers, the way it worked out, the way it's layered together. It's so fucking horrific because it's just her yelling his name because she's just looking for him. But when you go to his camera scene, you hear her in the background just yelling in the distance. It's fucking,
like we said, so little but so much.
Oh, so like you said, it's just a perfect example.
It's so fucking good and it's so terrifying.
And like I said, this laid down the groundwork for so many other things with no budget. You know? And Josh is crying out there in the woods just because he's lost. If we keep going south, they say we'll get out. Oh, so it's already the end of
it's already the end of Tuesday because they're like, we're going to have to set up camp again.
So now it's day 4. And I can't even imagine because, like, walking all day, like, say you get up at sunrise and you've been walking all day for that's rough. Can't even imagine how many hours you'd be doing, how many miles you think you would have done.
Counting my steps. I got my Apple Watch on.
Right here. This right here. This is where she famously says, because this is America, you can't just get lost.
It's America, you can't just get lost. And you're like, I've seen enough wrong turns that think you can.
I mean, and the boys are losing it. They're singing the national anthem.
Yeah, which I do like. I don't know why.
This is a really, really shitty part right here. This is the fucking.
Oh, this is where we walked by this.
This is an awful scene right here. Mm-hmm. Essentially, they crossed the lake earlier. Or they crossed this river earlier. They've been walking, and then they come back to us like, we already crossed this lake. Or this river. We just got here.
Follow it. I'm sorry. I feel like I learned that when I was like 5.
It's just one of those perfect little memes that, like, this one Instagram account that just does like one little change in the movie and the movie's over. Yeah, because they all survive.
Or it's like modern Seinfeld. Have you ever seen that Twitter account where it's like they go through Seinfeld episodes that could have been solved just by like having a cell phone?
It was like, yeah, like if you just would have followed the river and then the credits roll.
Yeah, and then they followed the river. And they got out.
End of movie, yeah.
But that wouldn't be any fun.
Yeah, like if you would have played like a beginning of Hostel, like, you want to go on a vacation to Europe? No. Roll credits.
Nope.
Yeah, see, then that's fucking bananas. They're like, well, we went We went east today. Let's go west tomorrow. That only gets you more.
That logic.
That means you just would have walked what you walked yesterday.
Exactly.
And Heather does have a bit of a breakdown.
Yeah, now she officially does.
Yeah, she cries.
There's a screaming baby outside.
Oh, Jesus. That was, I never really remember that line either.
The baby line?
Yeah. That's not a baby out there. That's great.
That's fucking You're like, oh. You know what also I do love? And they never really mention it, but there's a theory to it. There's no wildlife in this forest. What do you think?
Oh, shit. Dead forest.
Well, something's out there eating it.
100%. Oh, no, yeah, because they find a dead bird, and they're joking at the beginning of where they're just like, what do we think killed this natural causes or the Blair Witch? And
and you're like, well,
that's great. That's actually... And you don't really see them trying to survive. You don't see them trying to boil water.
Again, they're just not drinking water.
Yeah. Which the only thing they've had is just a steady diet of cigarettes, which they already ran out of.
And if that guy was as much as a smoker as they're trying to make it seem, he would have ran out real quick.
Oh, yeah, I would have run out. You're only taking a day's worth.
You're just going to the forest. Maybe you're taking a couple packs, depending on how much you smoke.
Yeah, what was it? Most 2 packs a day? Which is still a lot.
That's too much. We walked 15 hours and ended up in the same place. It's because... But again, let's go west today because we went east yesterday.
No,
you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
That means you would just lose a day because...
Yeah, so Heather's finally breaking down.
Yeah. Fun fact, bring it back to Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She plays a side character.
What episode?
She that episode where Charlie thinks he has a kid, and he takes that kid to the mall.
Is she the mom?
She's the mom.
Oh,
Thick Philadelphia accent. Yeah.
Oh, because Charlie's trying to win over the waitress, but thinking he like.
Oh, it's a big. Yeah, he could be a good dad,
or something like that.
Or a big brother, or something
like the Big Brother program. He's just trying to be like, I'm a good person.
The little kid's an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And she plays the mom. She's like, he's not your kid. I just made it up.
Oh, God, that show.
Oh, yeah. She's like, McBoyles is...
The Big Boyles.
One of the McBoyles is his dad.
And their milk.
Oh.
Gross.
What is she sewing something? And remember these shitty-ass flashlights before there were LED flashlights?
Yep.
There's like... It's so dark. I'm surprised we were able to ever see anything, like clearly in the dark. Like, it's rough. Now you film something with the LED, you see everything.
Everything. People's pores.
Yeah.
Like, oh, a ring light. I got a cheeseburger in my back pocket.
Because what is this? This is another day. This is Wednesday going to Thursday?
Are we on Thursday already?
Well, this is Wednesday night, I think.
Okay.
So we're talking about 5 days now?
Yeah, they were.
Saturday.
Went out on a Saturday. Josh is gone.
Ooh. Which is kind of interesting because, like, you hear, like, you get, this is the night they get no.
Nothing. They don't hear any weird things.
They slept through the night and Josh is gone.
Did they find the ear already or is that later?
I think the next day. I think they decided to stay here this night because they want Josh to come back. They don't want to leave Josh behind.
That's right. They're like, they're thinking he's going to come back. So they stay where they're at, which is smart.
Reasonable. The only time.
And like, I get that thinking because you're like, I'm not leaving my fucking friend out here.
100%. Even though like you might not be your acquaintances. Another thing they could have done, climbed a tree.
To see where you are.
Yeah, I climbed a fucking tree to walk away.
Pick a tall tree.
Yeah.
Climb it.
You walk away from the mountains. You walk towards some.
Oh my God. We would so survive on Outlast. Or
I have no idea.
No, I would not. I would be so bad.
I mean, granted, on Naked and Afraid, they are naked. And like, they're just like.
That's a whole nother level where I'd be like, not doing this.
That's like, you're cold merely just because you have no clothes.
Like, can I at least have some shoes?
There was one that they were lucky. I think it was like episode 2 or 3 because I've been in it.
You're just like, I am so deep into
I've really been watching it, and they're on a beach and they find up all these washed up clothes on the side and all this trash. So they use a lot of the bottles for for scoring water and like packing up water from the inside from like natural springs, and they find clothes. So she's wearing like half a shirt. It's all ripped up, and the guy's wearing a bikini.
Okay.
So like they found stuff. So they're not just walking around. But it is the beach, so they're not super cold.
Okay.
But there's other ones where they're in like fucking Ghana and they got fucking nothing.
See, I would never. There is no way in hell you'd ever see me.
The ones in
show.
The ones that go to the jungle and they're covered in bug bites, like we're talking about thousands of bug bites. Like it is. They look
That's
like
fucked up. It's
they
gnarly.
look like they have leprosy.
Yeah, and also a bug bite will kill you.
Oh, no, in one of the episodes they had to get the medics in because like no, you can go into shock because they're just constantly biting you.
Lyme's disease.
Oh,
it's the fucking thing.
So now it is the end of Thursday night. They're talking about what their favorite things used to be, and Heather used to like to go camping in the woods.
I used to love camping.
Yeah.
Oh, now you don't. You'll never like it again.
This easily could have been I Survived.
Yeah. So they heard what they think was Josh screaming, which is correct, right? I mean, Josh is dead, you guys. Josh is gone.
And yeah, I think you do hear they are some awful noises.
Mm-hmm. Again, going back to like we're not seeing anything. You're just hearing it.
It's just your imagination running away with itself and like giving you the worst possible version.
And that's when they wake up in the morning and find his ear.
A tooth.
Why did I think it was an ear? I literally just watched this the other day.
Unless there's an ear in it too. Could be wrong.
I don't know. This just goes to show you that even when I do sit down and watch these things, of course, I'm like also scrolling on my phone, which is bad. Like,
we just can't pay attention.
We can't. We've gotten to the point in society where it's like, yeah, I'm watching this movie, but also like, but like Instagram. I
will give them credit. Like the directors never decided to put like somebody running in the background or anything like that.
That's so cool too. And I like that. Right. Like you don't see a Blair Witch.
You would assume like they put a hand or, like over a tree or something or like taking it.
Not once is there any sort of what it's out there. It's all in your imagination.
It's all implied. Yeah. Josh also sounds like he gets the worst of it.
Yeah. Well, he fucked up. He knocked over that grave. Sorry. He sounds like he's getting fucked up, which he is.
Murdered.
Just murdered.
But that's if he isn't already dead. Like, is there a version where like Josh woke up in the middle of the woods on Thursday morning and he's just by himself and he's walking around? Like,
that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
He's naked.
He's naked and afraid.
Took all his clothes.
Oh.
Well, like whatever it was, it sounded like Josh screaming.
Just want to show Mike is still here sleeping.
Yeah. Mike's not dead.
And here we find. Also, I never would have opened up that bundle.
Oh, hell no.
I never. So Heather gets out.
Hell
It's
no.
Friday morning, if I'm correct.
There's a bundle of sticks.
And string.
And what appears to be Josh's shirt.
Oh, that's yeah. It's the strings from his shirt.
And it's all nice and a cute little bundle. Yeah. She's like, so smart. I'm going to open it.
Never would have.
Never.
And she also doesn't tell Mike right away.
Sorry. Mike is
literally
sitting just like completely convulsing back and forth in the middle of the forest. Like he's
back
just
and forth. I found some cigarettes. I'm okay.
I found some cigarettes. They're in the back of my bag. I'm going to be okay.
He's just trying to hold on to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they might not have eaten food in 5 days. If it's Friday.
Cigarettes, I guess, or help.
4 days? Oh, yeah. It would keep the hunger away.
Yeah. Curb the appetite. So they must have water.
Well, you can get it from the river. You can boil it. They had to have cooked something.
They've had to. But again, you never see it. Oh, the creepy bundle.
And it also looks like today they haven't gone hiking, so they're just kind of staying in the same spot.
Again, yeah, because they're thinking that they were going to. Oh, here's where she's opening up. She opened up the bundle and then a bloody little shirt pocket full of.
She immediately realizes it's got blood on it.
It's a tooth. You're right. Okay.
I thought it was a tongue originally.
You know why I probably thought ear is because in Wrong Turn, remember they find that dead guy's ear?
Oh yeah, beginning of the movie.
That's gross.
It is a real tooth they got from the dentist.
Oh, cool.
It also looks like a bunch of parts, actually.
It kind of does. Like there's hair in it almost, but it doesn't look like Josh's hair. It was like dark hair, like yours.
Oh, it was matted with blood. Yeah, you grab some of that water right there, you boil it for 30 minutes, should kill any microbes. Little Nick and the Freak.
Okay, 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's got to be 30 minutes.
It's got to be, yeah. I would be like 45 for safety.
Yeah, that's fine. Then you let it.
Yeah, no, that would fuck me up if I found a little pocket of.
Oh, because first of all, if you're not believing in the supernatural, you're definitely believing somebody's out there fucking.
Oh yeah, if you're like, okay, this isn't the Blair Witch, someone's out here murdering. Yeah. Which is more terrifying than Blair Witch.
Both, whatever it is both terrifying. You're lost.
Whatever it is like at this point they're just like, we're on a not like there's a timeline here. Like we're gonna get it.
Yeah. Now that I found blood and my friend's missing and he might be dead, like we're running the fuck out of there.
Climb a tree. I do like that advice. Climb a tree.
Climb a tree. Get your bearings. See if you find any, like on this side, if we look outside, we have the mountain on this side. Mm-hmm. So, if you were lost, you trying to get to this street.
Walk away from the mountain.
Walk away from the mountain towards the street, I do like how constantly they just look so fucking just dazed and out of it because they're just lost and they're just trying to keep their grip. But then again, it's fairly good acting.
Oh, they're so believable. Cause I'll be in the woods. Yeah, Mike's accepted his fate. He's like, I'm stuck out here. I'm gonna eat a leaf. There's that lovely river.
I was gonna say, back to the river. If they just would have followed the river, they would have been fine.
Oh, here we go. The front cover of the movie. Her face.
It's been parodied. It was probably parodied a lot more than.
Way more than just Scary Movie. I'm sure. But I just like what Scary Movie did with it. Like a snotty fucking nose. It's so gross. So Heather's finally revealing that she fucked up. She fucked up.
I mean, yeah, I'd feel pretty shitty about it too.
Oh, especially after your friends have been murdered. You're thinking.
I mean, I guess I could like give her the benefit of that. That's why she tried to keep it so cool because she was the reason they went out there. Like if they're lost, then it is her fault. So hence, everything's fine. We gotta keep it cool, guys. Everything's cool. Nothing's wrong because the moment they are lost, it is her fault.
It's all because of me that we're here now, hungry and cold.
Because what?
And hunted. Ooh.
What is it? Because I think it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's got to be, right? So they've been out there for a full week.
Ooh, rough.
That's rough.
A week in the woods, barely no food. No. Well, it essentially comes to the end of like her little arc. She admits that she was wrong, and it leads up to like big climax right here.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm scared to close my eyes. This weird snotty nose.
I mean, what would you have done in this scenario? You think you hear Josh outside?
Yeah, so they just heard someone yell.
Yeah, you hear somebody saying please, and Mike's just the first one's gonna go look for Mike's the first one's gonna go look for Josh. He's like, grab the camera, we're gonna go out there. And it's a heavy that's a heavy
camera. That's a heavy duty. I totally remember like my uncle owning a camera that looked like that.
It looks like it's half her size.
Yeah. Yes or no? Would you go?
I mean, knowing that you're being hunted and my friend might be dead already, but you're hearing his voice and you think it might be him lost in the woods. Fuck.
I don't know. You're right. That's such a
playing on your empathy.
They are.
And then we get to a creepy house that we haven't gone into before, which is this is the house you said that they tore down.
Yes, they did. I did read that people kept going to it, and it's not like it was owned by anyone. But then the city was like, "We're going to tear this down."
I mean, it does look dilapidated.
I mean, it's fucked up. There's no saving this house.
Somebody owned this house.
Yeah, It's so fucking scary. I love it. I love a haunted house. Oh, I would just be sitting in there having my dinner. They're like, welcome home.
Can you imagine? Heather just doesn't want to go inside.
Which, to be fair, it's dangerous, one. Like, you could just fall through the floorboard.
And it's nighttime. You don't know what the fuck you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, that's what they're using the cameras for, the light.
Yeah. Mike has... Oh, wait, no, there's Mike. He hasn't quite disappeared yet. Yeah, it's so much fun. This creepy fucking house. And the handprints...
I have seen some people like reuse those handprints in found footage movies before, after this.
Oh, it's like a little Easter egg.
There was one, I think it's one of the VHS movies.
Oh, I like those.
It is a found footage, and they are going down the stairway, and you just see handprints showing up on the walls.
Ooh.
And it was just like, that's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's very kind of like low effects.
And so they still believe that they think they are hearing Josh.
And you do hear somebody in the...
You do, yeah. You hear, but it's just... It's such a cool... Oh, there they are. Handprints. It's such a cool little effect, because it's like, is it?
And you notice those aren't like adult handprints.
No, they're kids.
They're children.
They're
so they
tiny
takes you
little
back.
hands.
It takes you back to that other story where the
kids.
The 7 dead kids.
And then also just the Blair Witch is... Like, her whole thing was that she killed kids, too.
Yeah. Oh, this is how it goes
Oh,
down.
so iconic. Because Josh, again, thinks that he hears...
Mike's just screaming Josh's name, and then Heather's screaming Mike's name because she's freaking the fuck out.
Because I feel like Heather is like, it's not him.
Yeah.
Ooh, fallen camera.
That's it.
Ooh, but let's not forget about Mike standing in the corner.
Well, that's right. So she's screaming Mike like bloody murder.
Yeah, she is. She's like,
Mike!
Mike!
She is so fucking scared.
Oh, you better believe I'm not going in a basement.
No. I wouldn't have gone into the house. I don't think I would have gone into the house.
Yeah, I might have gone. Oh, there he is. Best
That's it.
scene ever. Mike standing in the corner. Boom, camera down.
And that's it.
And that is it.
Which it takes you back to that story where it was like
He put the kid in the corner.
puts the kids in the corner, and all the kids would look away.
He's been murdering the other kids, and then he would take the next one out of the corner.
Oh, it's awful. But then you say like maybe it was a Blair Witch like possessing that person, which is a whole other story. Like I said,
It's a whole exactly. That's what I meant. I was like, there is a Blair Witch, but there's like, I like that there isn't like a character, you know? You're just this eerie kind of what is happening.
yeah, you're not seeing even in, what was it, The Witch? I forgot his name. Eggers the Witch. There is barely a witch in that one.
Yeah.
You know, you see it in the beginning a little bit, and then you see more witches at the end, but like in between, it's them losing their fucking shit, you know?
Panic sets in and you do crazy things.
Totally holds up.
Holds up, 100%.
100%. I'm giving it 9.5 bloody bundles, out of 10.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There is the silliness of it being like, yeah, I feel like you guys could have tried a little harder to get out of that forest.
Oh, I mean, it is, what were we stupider in 1999?
Yeah. I mean, there was no cell phones. I mean, there were, but not like what we know them.
Yeah,
as.
but that still would have done away with even some of the early 2000s movies. Still do away. Like I think was it in Wrong Turn? Was it 2001, 2002?
2001, 2002.
Yeah, they do it with the cell phones.
Well, yeah, he had his little Nokia.
Yeah, he's got no bars.
No cell service.
Apparently, we still haven't fixed that part.
Why does it still suck?
If you're creative enough, you can write your way around it. You don't have to have your whole movie take place in the 1980s
just to avoid a cell phone.
Cell phone.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
In fact, I would love to see like a really modern horror movie done really well, like with a usage of like how cell phones are so they're such part of our lives.
Well, what was it in Nope?
Yeah, Nope was great.
They did away with it because whatever the spoiler alert, the fucking monster basically had an electromagnetic field, so nothing worked around it.
Yeah.
Anytime it would show up, everything electrical field.
Yeah, that's a really smart thing Jordan Peele did.
Yeah. If you're creative enough, you can get away with it, I don't know if you can do it every time.
No, I mean,
But yeah.
but that's like it's a really good go-to. Just been like, oh, the electromagnetic fields.
Oh, you're electromagnetic. What's a do?
Oh, there's like a plate over here. Phone's not working.
Did away with your thingamajig. Mm-hmm.
Just my go-to. My phone's not working because science.
Yeah, because of science. This movie, I would put it in like my list of movies I would recommend. Like
Anybody watch.
Everybody.
You don't even have to be a horror fan.
100%.
It's so good.
I would recommend this to my family. I would recommend this to me. Yeah, it's appropriate. You know, it doesn't have a whole lot of, you know, of gore, of violence, just a lot of fucking suspense, a lot of fucking, you know, having your imagination run away with you, and just the fucking, what did I say, mania, the anxiety, excuse me.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great spook, but it's not like you're sitting someone down and asking them to watch Saw.
Exactly.
Because, like, I would never recommend someone watch that movie. Or any of them.
The first one.
Sure, I guess, because that's, it's iconic. I'd put it on a list.
First one, you can do the first one. Because the first one only has that one, you know, that one trap, you know, like.
No, there's a few different traps that they show you in the first one. Yeah. The main one is that helmet.
That's part 2, though, isn't it?
Nope, that's the first one. And then, but there's also like little teeny other ones they show you because they're building up this character of Jigsaw and explaining what Jigsaw does. So there's that one freaky ass one where there's like, he's covered in some sort of chemical that's flammable, and he just has a candle.
Yeah.
But he has to find the code to get out of this room, and it's like written on the walls.
Oh,
so he has like had the tiny little candle, and one wrong move sets himself on fire.
that's pretty good. I'll give him that. That's very lo-fi. It's not a machine.
It's true.
You know, anybody can.
There was a guy that had to crawl through the barbed wire.
I remember that one.
Guy.
And the glass.
Yeah.
Or there's one lady that has to go
There's
through
one
glass.
person that's walking on glass. I think that's a candle guy too. That would be Jigsaw's silly.
I never really liked those. I've only seen part 1, and I was like, oh, I think somebody gave it away.
I'm pretty sure I've seen them all. Yeah. I just, at some point, I'm like, Jigsaw, stop trying to pretend like you've never done anything bad here.
Oh, I'm trying to say.
He goes, I don't kill people. I give them a choice. And you're like,
I'm trying to say you're a little bit of a hypocrite.
Yeah. Like, sir.
A little hypocrite.
Hypocrite. Sir, you kill people.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry, what is that from? Sir. I forgot that's from. Sir,
It's just like, you know, yeah, doing heroin is bad. But you know what's worse? What you're doing.
making a heroin addict either shoot up or fucking.
Like, being like, did you know that doing heroin is bad?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to quit.
Sir, you locked me in this jaw. Like,
Kidnapped me.
You kidnapped me and made me murder a man to get a key out of his stomach. So, who's the real bad guy here? The second one's really gnarly because it has that needle pit. I hated it.
Oh, is that what it was? All right, so
the
that's
needle pit's in the second one.
That's with Marky Mark's brother.
Donnie Wahlberg. Just like the biggest racist cop of all time. In that movie. But go watch Blair Witch Project. Hell yeah.
Oh, 100% recommend. And tune in next time for when we take another wrong turn. I'm not sure what we're doing yet, though, next time.
Were we going to do the 2016 of this one? Were we going to watch that one?
Yeah, we can do that one. So tune in next time. So we'll still be lost in the woods, and we're back in 2016.
The 2016 one where it's Heather's little brother goes to like look for her or look for answers. I don't know if it's like
she's still out here. She's not out there, bro.
She's definitely not out there.
She's definitely not out there. All right, but we hope everybody stays safe. Take care and don't make any wrong turns.